too much. But you know, I think slowly we're proving to everybody that, you know, I'm better than ever, and I'm really, you know, the fighter that's gonna take on these big challenges in order to cement my legacy in the boxing.
Well, in terms of your legacy, should you win this fight at 140, there's only two other guys who have been able to do that, Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez, to win at 126, 130, 135, and now 140. What would that outstanding accomplishment mean to you?
Well, I wasn't aware of that. I know
you weren't aware of that?
I wasn't aware. It's not the reason why I was going for that. I know they won their titles. I know there's other fighters who have won titles in 4 or more divisions, but I wasn't aware that from the featherweights to the super lightweight, those two names were the only ones. I mean, that'd be a great, you know, accomplishment if I can be included in that discussion along, you know, Juan Manuel Marquez, who for me is one of the best fighters that I've seen, and along Manny Pacquiao, same things. I mean, that'd be another win in itself.
You're a humble guy. Do you consider yourself in that same sentence?
I think there's more still to accomplish in order to be equally or parallel to those names.
A lot of names have been thrown out. A lot of people want to fight you, and we've seen in the past several months all of them throw their hat into the ring to want the opportunity. What made you decide on fighting Sergey, an undefeated fighter, a fighter who is 13-0, 10 knockouts, and a tough guy? How did you pick him of all of these other guys who would like a shot at you?
We were looking at other names as well, and when we're not able to secure somebody else, you know, for various reasons. Sometimes it's the marketability or what they bring to the table is not exciting enough for me. A world champion like Sergey Lipinets is more exciting to me than just somebody else, you know, that's gonna be an easy title defense for me or just another fight. I want a challenge, and this man presents that challenge. He's a bigger man, naturally. He's gonna be very hungry, very motivated. He knows the victory over me, obviously, you know, launches his career to the very, very top. So that makes for an interesting fight. And of course, winning that 4th division championship for me is a big deal. My dad had always wanted a 3-division champion. Well, now I'm gonna give him a 4th title. So that's something that really excites me.
He's a big puncher and 140 pounds. Does that concern you?
Of course there's concern. I'm fighting bigger men, and that's something that we have to be careful and watch out for. And we'll come up with a good game plan. My brother, my dad will still look at video and decide what, you know, game plan we want to bring to the ring on February the 10th. But of course, that size advantage that he holds will be something to watch out for.
Robert, going to ask you next, but what about going to San Antonio? Obviously, you're a Southern California man. You're taking your act on the road down to San Antonio. How about fighting in the Alamo Dome?
Look, San Antonio has been great to boxing and great to the Garcia team. We've had many successful fights in San Antonio, great wins in San Antonio, so we love it there. We have so many fans, and I've always said, you know, Texas, the whole state has always been great when it comes to boxing fans. We're honored to fight in San Antonio.
And how do you prepare Mikey differently now at 140 pounds?
Well, look, we know Sergey is a very, very dangerous fighter, very dangerous champion. He's gonna come with everything. I know he's hungry. I know he wants to become a big name, great fighter, and that's by beating Mikey. But you know, Mikey's very smart in the ring. We're gonna come up with a good game plan. We're gonna have big sparring partners, strong, heavier guys, which I'm already talking to a few that are willing to come and help spar. So you know, the sparring is gonna be a big challenge for Mikey also, because we're bringing in some real tough, solid sparring partners.
Sergey, I know you understand a lot of English, but we're going to have Alex help you with the translation. Thank you for joining us here today. How have you been able to enjoy your championship? You moved over from kickboxing, and now with just 13 professional fights, you have a world title. How have you enjoyed the transition, and what's it been like for you?
Здравствуйте все, спасибо, что собрались здесь. Конечно, это было очень тяжело, тяжелые тренировки, хорошие тренера, хорошая команда, мне очень повезло. Конечно же, я очень рад, что так быстро смог стать чемпионом мира. И я очень хотел бы, конечно, драться с большими именами, такие как Майк Гарсия. И вот мне теперь есть этот шанс, и я постараюсь сделать все для победы.
It was not that easy, right, from kickboxing to boxing. He had to work hard. He had to stay in the gym most of the time. He had to deprive himself from a lot of enjoyment that California and United States of America can put on a table in front of you. He put it all aside. He did everything he had to do. Went from one gym to another, trained, spar with everybody. Whoever they put in front of him, he got lucky that he had a great team around him, great trainers, great management, and he was always aiming for the stars. He wanted to be the best at what he does, and Mikey Garcia is a great challenge. I mean, great champion, he wants to be where Mikey is. And that's the only way to get there.
You won this title just a month ago, and now just 3 months after that, you're going to fight a great champion like Mikey. Why didn't you take an easier fight? What made you want to do this right now?
Ну, если бы я взял легче бой, вы бы сказали, что я беру слабых соперников и выигрываю у них. И я взял серьезный бой. Вы спрашиваете, почему я не беру полегче что-нибудь. Здесь нет золотой середины, и поэтому...
Well, it's a catch-22. If I would have taken an easy fight, everybody would have said, oh, you're taking an easy fight, you're fighting lesser opposition. I'm taking a great challenge, Mikey Garcia, and everybody is saying, either you're not ready or why are you taking that tough of a fight. So it's basically, you can't please everybody. He's pleasing himself. He is trying to make where he's going in the shortcut, the fastest way possible. He had a lot of challenge in front of him before. He overcame it, and he's going to do that same thing again.
As Steven Espinoza mentioned, 163-15 are your past opponents, but you've also been able to spar with Hank Lundy and Terrence Crawford. How much have they prepared you, and will they prepare you for a guy like Mikey?
Ну, хорошие спарринги с хорошими соперниками, конечно же, очень быстро меня подняли на тот уровень, в котором я нахожусь. И я надеюсь, у меня и дальше будут очень хорошие спарринги, хорошие спарринг-партнеры.
Well, that's basically the key to everything, to have a good sparring that will be able to hit you and show you where your holes are, and that's going to prepare you for the bigger challenge. Every time he sparred was people that, like you mentioned, and he realized where he is at a game of boxing. They showed him, okay, you're not there yet, or you're already there. It made him feel more confident for whatever fight was coming up, and that's what made him to be.
Well, you've got a great trainer, buddy. What holes do you see in Mikey that you think Sergey can try and take advantage of, or is there such a thing? Does he just have to simply come up with a game plan that will be effective, or are there holes in this man's game?
Well, there's not many holes because he comes from a great family of boxing, you know, so we just have to prepare for any and everything, and this way that come fight night, we have an answer for everything, and if we don't have an answer for one thing, we have 2 answers for something else. But the key is that we just got to be on point, you know, from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But you know, I believe that that night, or right now, I should say that Sergey right now is on a mission. I know Mike is on a mission, and I respect it. I respect the fact that he's fighting Sergey, and I respect the fact that Sergey is fighting him. I mean, and people were asking me, why would you fight Mikey Garcia? I'm like, because the easier fights to me are at 147. You know what I mean? And he doesn't want to go to 47 yet. I mean, I really wanted the other Garcia, Danny. I think that's an easier fight for us, but, you know, they didn't want to go up to 47, so, you know, they want to stay at 140. So, you know, champions do what Sergey's doing, and that's fighting the best. And Mikey's doing what champions do. They fight the best. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? But before we go to another question, I want to say congratulations to you. And I would like to ask the media and everyone in here a question tonight. But I want everyone to be honest. It's pertaining to both fighters, but I need your honest opinion. Now, I know I'm not the most handsomest guy in the world, but these motherfuckers are ugly as hell. That's a scary ass poster. Hi, Jim, thank you.
We needed that, Richard. Very good, buddy. With that, I think we'll open it up. I can't top that.
Just imagine we have to deal with it every day.
Did you translate that to him, or you don't want to tell him that? Did you understand that, Sergey? Yeah. Okay.
That's a scary poster.
Next time he holds mitts for him, he might